Celtic against Ajax. Here we go then, Celtic against Ajax. Let's do this. I'm really excited for this. Celtic versus Ajax in the match week number 2. We are here at the East Point Arena in Scotland for Celtic against Ajax. Who will win this? Both of these teams need to win pretty much because they lost their respective matches, and here we will get the lineups for you in a second, starting with Celtic, I believe. Here's the Celtic lineup. Mr. Bolton starts in goal, alongside Owen Arthur, Mr. Williams, Mrs. Brown and Jack Sparrow in the back line. On the left it's Hippocrates, in the middle it's Van Gogh and Queen Elizabeth, and on the right it is L. And the Weekend and Shaggy start up top, so no changes from the last match against Newcastle where they lost 3-2 at St James's Park. And now we get onto the Ajax lineup. It is going to be Vladimir Putin starting in goal, Plato, Lincoln, Thomas Edison and Thomas Jefferson in the back. Meanwhile, Rasputin on the right, Mozart in the middle with Peter III and Charles Darwin on the right. Stalin in centre attacking midfield, and up front is going to be Isaac Newton. So again, no changes, which is pretty surprising in the end, to be honest. But we are going to start this match off here. What an entertaining match this should be in Scotland, in the heart of Scottish football, the Celtic Stadium, the East Point Arena. Let's get on with this. What a match this should be, Red. Yeah, it should be an excellent match. The two teams, you said, do need this victory more than anything and anybody else to stay in contention of getting through this group. Yep, and here's immediately Joseph Stalin already running through these players. But it's Van Gogh trying to defend him, and excellently defend him. Here's Owen Arthur, the history teacher, when he's not playing football, but gives it away to Lincoln. Now here's Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton, can he play through Rasputin? He decides to play Rasputin in. Here's Rasputin! Good save by Lee Bolton. Now, maybe an attack from Celtic. The Weekend here. Can he find Shaggy? Does. Now, Shaggy, is he going to go alone? Yes, he is. Shaggy here. Shaggy gets past Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln's on him. Shaggy! Elizabeth II with an interception. Now Van Gogh. Here's Elizabeth II, can she get a shot off? Thomas Jefferson in defence, trying to defend. It's an excellent challenge from Lincoln. And back to the keeper in Vladimir Putin. Can they clear this out? Yes. Now here's Mozart. Still Mozart here, trying to run past Jack Sparrow. Does. Mozart with an excellent little flick onto Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton running here, in space. Not really much space because the challenge comes through from Paul Williams. Owen Arthur here to Van Gogh. Here's Elizabeth II. Can she play someone in? No, gives it away to Abraham Lincoln, but she tries to stay on him. Here's Thomas Jefferson. Who can he find? He finds Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton here being pressured, and does get pressured by Williams, which here's Williams. Here's Hippocrates with the immediate pass to Van Gogh. Van Gogh, he's getting pressured by Peter III, the Tsar. Here's Thomas Jefferson after Peter III got an excellent challenge in. Here's Isaac Newton now. Newton nearly loses the ball, but manages to keep it in the end. Here's Mozart to Joseph Stalin. Waits for the run of Isaac Newton, which is being defended by Williams. He's past Williams. Newton over the bar. He's not got his shooting boots on today. Looking at that, he's skyrocketed that one. To be fair, it's not that far off, but he just needs to put that down a little bit, and that would have went in the top corner. But unfortunately, he doesn't. And in the first half an hour, we haven't had. That's the first shot, I believe, by the Celtic side. No, wait, by the Ajax side. Sorry. Here's Elizabeth II. Pass it to the Weekend, which scored in the match against who was it? Newcastle. Here's Peter the Third, maybe trying to lay it off, but no, goes alone here. Peter the Third goes alone, and he's challenged. And here's Lee Bolton. Lee Bolton needs to clear this under some pressure. Charles Darwin trying here to do something, but it's a great challenge now. Hippocrates with the ball to Shaggy. Shaggy here trying to get past Thomas Edison. The Weekend to Shaggy, the two strikers linking up. Shaggy sees the ball to L here. L on this right wing again. Can he find a pass? No, goes alone. Good save by Vladimir Putin. Here's Charles Darwin, and it's going to be a Celtic throw. I have no idea what Darwin was doing there. And here's Thomas Jefferson. Shaggy. Elizabeth II in space! Oh, God, I thought the Queen would have scored that. She definitely had a shot on there and tried it. And that is the end of the first half. Oof. At the end of the first half, it is 0-0 here at the Eastport Arena. Eastport Arena in Scotland. Nothing to separate the two teams. And we're back in the Eastport Arena here with Celtic kicking us off. The Weekend trying to find a run here. Can he find a pass? Van Gogh? Yeah, maybe he's got options to his left and right and chooses to pass it to Hippocrates. Maybe he can find the Weekend back. Maybe whip it into Shaggy, which is waiting in the middle. He needs assistance, modes, fucking Hippocrates does. But he gets away from the defenders. Here's the Weekend blocked. Pass it in here. Here's the Weekend again. Will he go alone? Weekend! What a goal to start off the second half. The Weekend with an excellent shot. And Vladimir Putin could only look and watch as it streamed past him into that top right. Look at this. You think, when's he going to shoot? He chooses now. Vladimir Putin. He goes down. He thought he was shooting low. He couldn't get to it. It was too far over for him. He is like 70 years old, so you've got to let him off. But saying that, the Queen is like 96. So that's why she wears number 96. Anyway, here's Ajax kicking us back off. I believe this is Isaac Newton. Yes, it is. Isaac Newton goes past this stone. He's past Jack Sparrow. He's only got Mrs. Brown to deal with. But Mrs. Brown, what a challenge that is. And is it a goal kick? It's going to have a substitution here. It is Joseph Starling coming off for a player that isn't created. because the Ajax bench still has some non-creative players in. So we've got whatever that name is, the real player coming on. So here's who is it? Newton sees Hilson, the real player, but he's challenged by Van Gogh. Mozart here. Mozart! Was it Mozart or was it Peter the Third? It was Mozart. Mozart gets it. I thought it was Peter the Third then. Mozart, what a goal from Mozart. You've got to love this lad. He makes excellent music and he makes an excellent shot. What a shot that is. Mr. Bolton couldn't get down to that. And we have seen Mr. Bolton make some excellent saves in this tournament so far. So to beat him like that, what a shot that is. So well placed into that bottom left. The Celtic kick us off again. 1-1 in the space of the opening 15 minutes of the second half. As now here's Shaggy. Queen Elizabeth sees L. L really hasn't done anything this match. But here he is. Trying to get round these two defenders in Plato. Here's Rasputin trying to defend here, but Elizabeth II is in here, maybe trying to find a pass to the Weekend in the middle. Here's Shaggy. Shaggy's in here. Here's L. Can L have a dig? Is he going to have a shot? He is! It's shot wide. You saw the look in Vladimir Putin's eyes. He's very lucky. And Hippocrates is coming off for John Lennon as linking comes off. for yet another player that I didn't create. I really need to fix this Ajax bench so there's no non-creative players on it, because that's twice now. Abraham Lincoln is coming off for a non-creative player. Fucking hell. Anyway, Elizabeth II trying to defend here. Here's the non-creative player for Ajax. He's past Williams. He's past Williams. He can't get past Bolton though. The wall of Lee Bolton. Here's another substitute. It's the weekend coming off for Mr. Hussein, the super sub Mr. Hussein. He hasn't got that much stamina in the tank these days, so they've got to leave him until the final 15 minutes. It's going to be whipped in by Charles Darwin here. Can you see Mozart? Here's Hilson. Plato here, trying to defend Shaggy as the counter-attack may be on. He's very good, Shaggy is, to hold off Plato there. Waiting for the arrival of the Mr. Hussein, but can't get it. The pass on. Here's Peter III to Isaac Newton. Given away, actually. Williams, Mr. Williams, to John Lennon. His first touch of the ball is given away to the opposition. Here's Isaac Newton. Newton, can he find a pass to the non-creative player? He does. Back to Isaac Newton. See, Mozart! Mozart's through here! Mozart! What a save by Lee Bolton. And here's John Lennon. John Lennon hasn't really had much to do since he's come on, but here's Mr. Hussein. Shaggy. Back to Mr. Hussein. Finds L. L here in acres of space. There's runners. There is runners. L here shoots! It's L for Celtic! Or should I say it's the L for Ajax? Because it's 2-1 in the 90th minute. L, he had Mr. Hussein in the middle. He decides, fuck you, he goes alone. How has Vladimir Putin not got to this? Look at this. It's under his arm again. The same exact thing happened last match against Spurs. And it is L. After finding light and dying, he's back to score the winner, it seems, here at his home ground in the East Point Arena against Ajax. Which Ajax, how have they managed to screw this up in the last minute? They had that chance with Mozart and you thought he was going to score, but he screwed it. But here's Isaac Newton, past Mrs. Brown. Isaac Newton's in here! Newton scores! 2-2. Lee Bolton is on the ground crying. I don't know, like a fucking... Lee Bolton goes down. He cannot believe he's just let this in the 93rd minute. What a mistake it was by Lee Bolton. Oh my lord. I don't believe this. It's 2-2. There it is. That's the end of the match. It finishes 2-2. What a match that was. Honestly, in the East Point Arena, we have had some matches, but this one takes the cake. Originally, Weekend scored, then Mozart, then Al got that last minute winner, quote unquote. But then, unbelievable. Honestly, what a game that was in the end. The first half seemed a bit lacklustre, but that was absolutely